Afternoon, everyone. How are we all on a Monday? Hope you are all well. As usual, on a Monday, I go over sort of the slightly controversial talking points or things that stood out to me over the weekend, of which there were a few. I don't do a whole results rundown and cover every show. There's G-Man and Joe Stunner are doing that stuff. So I'll leave that to them. I'll do my own sort of twist, First of all, thank you to everyone that liked and subscribed over the weekend. Everyone in the United States, everyone in Ireland, I see you all. So thank you very much. Can't thank you enough. I must say, one of the most amusing things that I thought was a piece of genius over the weekend. I think it was. I feel bad because I should have remembered the name. But someone left a comment. I believe it was on the Talk Sport comments section, the Talk Sport comments, boxing comment section, and it was a description of Gareth A. Davies as, I quote, someone who closes the refrigerator door with their hip, which I thought was absolute piece of genius. So well done to whoever that was, because I'm going to use that all the time. I'm sure many others will. So brilliant. Right, I'm going to start with, because I did say after the little live reaction, I did say I would do a bit more of an in-depth breakdown of that. So I'm going to start with that because there's a few areas of controversy, you'd say, a little bit. First of all, the knockdown. Looked like a legitimate knockdown, didn't it, to me? The only reason I can think the referee didn't give it, and I've tried to look at this closely, but there's not massive amounts of great footage of it, is if you look, you can see where both lead feet look like there is a chance that Cameron could be treading on her lead foot. Which could that assist in her going down? I don't know. I mean, if it's seen, that may be given as a no knockdown because of that. There's a possibility of it. I can't say conclusively whether it is or not, but that's the only thing I can think of. But she wasn't given the knockdown, rightly or wrongly. How do you think, if the knockdown had been given, how do you think that would have affected the fight? Do you think that would have given Cameron, well, obviously it'd give her a 10-8 round. There's one thing, isn't there? But who would it have affected more in terms of their performance for the rest of the fight? Who knows, don't they? And then there was the headbutts. Now, I've seen a lot of people talking about Katie Taylor's excessive use of the head, which indicates you are suggesting she's using a headbutt in an illegal manner, intentionally headbutting. Now, first off, Katie Taylor's a shorter girl, and a lot of the physical marks from the headbutts, especially the gash, was high on Cameron's forehead. So with one girl intentionally illegally headbutting and the other one not, the damage you would expect, because no one, if you've got experience, no one intentionally headbutts anyone else in the forehead. It will be in the bridge of the nose, the eye socket. If it was an intentional headbutt, you would expect the cut to be on the eyebrow because that's the target you would aim for. Especially if you're going in with your head, that's where it's going to be. But to me, both girls were leading in with their head unintentionally. And as a result, both girls had damage and swelling on the forehead. So I don't see that as intentional use of headbutting by Katie Taylor. Because like I say, if she was going in with her head unintentionally and Cameron wasn't, the damage would have been inflicted on the face, around the bridge of the nose, the cheeks, the eye sockets. That's where the damage was. And they both had noticeable damage on the forehead. So I don't see it, I'm afraid. I know Cameron came off worse and got the gash on the top of the head. But if her head wasn't in the same position, the heads wouldn't have clashed in the same point on the top of the forehead. So not for me. My opinion, you may say otherwise, but like I say, if I'm looking to headbutt someone, I'm certainly not going to headbutt them in their forehead. Not a good idea. Right then. I mean, yeah, because you can equate that to, if you go back, if you want to see an intentional use of the headbutt, Tyson Holyfield too is a fine example, because you can see that Holyfield actually goes down and up with a head in that into Tyson's face, which actually did cause quite a bad gash on the eyebrow for Tyson. That's the difference between intentional and when just two people who lead with their head clash heads, unfortunately. So that's all I can sort of add on that one. And then there's the scorecards, isn't there? Gareth A. Davis, I actually saw, there was a quote from him, and he said, 98-92 was someone who favoured all the countering and punching of Katie Taylor, which, now, a lot of you are going to complain at this or moan, but I didn't, so discount the knockdown, take that out of the equation. I gave the first 6 rounds to Katie Taylor, to me, and then I thought she lost a few, maybe it was either 7 or 8 and 8 and 9 that she lost because she deviated. I think she blew the tank a little bit and she was standing in the pocket, trading more, getting hit. That's where Cameron had the success. But other than that, from almost every other round, Taylor employed her tactics to a far greater level of success than Cameron did, in other than the rounds where Cameron deviated, where Katie deviated. So I don't think 98-92 was out of the way. I'd probably give, to me, because I thought Katie took the last round, or possibly even, but I could say Katie by 6 or 7 rounds. For me, like I say, I tell you what I always say to people. Now, I only watched this fight once live. I've briefly watched the highlights again. But if I ever find a fight hard or difficult to score, or I ever think there's controversy in the scoring, I always go back and watch the fight on mute. And if you've never done it, you're going to be massively surprised at how differently you read a fight. It's like the subconscious bias imposed by listening to the commentary and the crowd. So if you've never done that and you've scored a fight or found a fight difficult to score, go and do that. It will make a massive difference. I tell people to do it all the time. A lot of people who, especially with Fury and Garner, just gone. A lot of friends I know said, no, didn't agree that I thought Fury won. He did win, but a lot of people thought in Garner. I said, go back and watch it, turn the sound off, watch it again, and just score it purely, and tell me if you have a different outcome. A lot of people do. So I think Katie won comfortably. Like they say, speed kills, and it killed Cameron for me. Like I say, just my opinion, but that's how I scored it. What else was there? I tell you what, there was Benavidez versus Andrade, wasn't there, at the weekend? First of all, I like to ask this question because I like to know what you guys think. How good do we think Benavidez is going to go on to be? He's a bit of an anomaly as a fighter, isn't he? He's odd in the fact that sometimes he's shows sort of lightning hand speed and quick, short combinations, and other times he throws big, long, looping, clubbing shots that look slow. He's a strange one, isn't he? Will Canelo fight him? Is Canelo ducking him? I'm not sure. I do think, and Benavidez's style is kind of could suit a shorter, stockier, strong guy like Canelo. But like I say, he's very almost 3-dimensional. So who knows? Caleb Plant had a lot of success against him, didn't he, for the first half of the fight? But yeah, Benavidez, he's like I say, bit of an enigma almost, isn't he? He's a beast, isn't he? So how does he make super middle? He looks almost like a big light heavyweight, doesn't he? Almost a freak, but yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, that's kind of it, really. They were the points that stuck out for me this weekend. Again, thank you to everyone who liked and subscribed. You wouldn't know how much I appreciate it. It means the world. And I'm just going to keep bringing you this stuff. If you find it mildly entertaining or insightful or interesting, then carry on. If not, don't bother. Go somewhere else. But if not, love, peace to you all. Have a good week. See you all soon.